Hello guys, this is a review of Xena, Warrior Princess. This is one, and I know that I say this often, this is one, if not my favorite TV show of all time. Definitely in like the superhero action genre, this takes first place. And we're gonna have to go backwards, starting with season 6, the finale, because of the color that I have going on kind of matches. What this is going to be like, basically, I'm gonna go over some of my favorite episodes and, kind of in a nutshell summarize what it's about, my feelings about it, my opinion, and that's it. Let's get started. The first disc starts with Coming Home, The Haunting of Mephistopheles, Heart of Darkness, and Who's Gurkhan. I would say that my favorite one is Heart of Darkness and Who's Gurkhan of the first disc. And look at the discs, they're chakrams. Because look, they first, let me give you like a little bit of insight as to how this one starts. It starts after Xena has already beat most of the Olympians. She has received the power to kill gods, and she has honored that power very much. And they go back to the Amazons with Eve. Eve is a character that is seen often in this season, not in every episode, but most of the first ones. Eve is not terrible, but she's very annoying to me. She's always like talking about, oh, I'm the messenger of Eli, and we have to go, like, it's so annoying. Because you're probably thinking, well, Xena's the same, she used to be evil, now she's good. Yeah, but Xena keeps it real. She still has her attitude. That's why Gabrielle's kind of there to be the counterpart, like balance things out. Because Xena goes to your face and she says, yeah, I did a lot of things. She even cries it out sometimes, but she's rough, she's tough, she's honest, she's raw. Everything that Eve isn't. She thinks she's all that, in my opinion. She thinks that she's just the greatest, and she's always making mistakes, always putting people in danger. I don't know, but I do not like the way that she conducts herself. I like the message that she brings. I like the things that she wants for the world, but I don't like her attitude about it and the way that she goes about. And she's, like I said, she's seen a lot in this season. Heart of Darkness is one of my favorite episodes here, because it has to do with, let me see, I don't want to get it wrong. Well, The Haunting of Mephistopheles is also a really good one. They go back to the home of Xena, and she finds out that her mother is dead. They burned her at the stake thinking that she was a witch, but really it was just an evil from this underworld, hell basically, that's been taking control of people and darkening their hearts, etc. Therefore, Xena has to battle this guy. Well, not a guy, this creature. But if she kills him, first she has to bring him out of hell into the real world. But if she manages to kill him, she is going to have to take his place in hell and be the new leader. Knowing that, she still does it because she wants to rid her mother of eternal suffering and rid the world of this thing that's causing harm. And then the next one, Heart of Darkness, like I said, is one of my favorite ones. There's an archangel, I believe, I think it's an archangel, named Lucifer. He is, I wanted to say sent out to earth to put Xena in hell, but I think Michelangelo, I think the other angels, they knew that he really wasn't fit for the job, but Lucifer was just so cocky about it. It's like, oh, I could do it, like, just let me go there and I'll put her in hell. Because logically, when Xena defeated that other creature, she didn't want to go to hell. So somebody had to put her in there because it opened a portal that was contaminating people's hearts and making them evil. So he goes down there, and Xena makes him commit every single one of the 7 deadly sins. So, I think except for one. Or all of them. No, I think all of them. So then he becomes Lucifer. You know, what we know in the Christian Catholic religion as the devil. Or I might be wrong, but I mean, that's how I remember it. It's a long time that I've been involved in religion. But anyway, yeah, that happens, and it's so cool. It's so fun, very sensual, very aggressive, honest, and beautiful. Just the way I like it. And then who's Khan? It says, when Gabrielle's niece Sarah is kidnapped by evil African warlord Khan, Xena infiltrates his harem to rescue her, but Gabrielle may blow her cover. Who's Khan? So, this episode is also really good. Gabrielle goes back home and she finds out that this guy, Khan, has taken his, or her niece I should say, prisoner. Maybe he even killed her. He killed other family members. And she goes there to rescue her. And this is basically human trafficking. Xena goes there. And then Gabrielle follows. Contrary to what Xena told her. So they put everything in danger. Then Xena gets beat up. I say it like that. Like very stealth. But it's awesome. It's just like a very, very long episode. In the sense that a lot of things are going on. But I recommend it. And disc 2 is Legacy. The Abyss, what does it say here? The Rheingold, The Ring, and Return of the Valkyrie. Yeah, let's see. The Abyss. Let's start with The Abyss. The Abyss is one of my favorite because it involves the cannibals. And gosh, I love all the scenes with the cannibals. In other seasons, we've seen them before, and they are so scary. I remember the first time I watched it, I think I watched it on TV. They were broadcasting it on a Spanish channel called... no, I think it was Telemundo.2 or Telex. Telex, yeah. It's a Spanish network. Years ago. And... yeah, they're... Gabrielle is there trying to save Virgil. Xena and Gabrielle are. But a lot of things go wrong. And then Xena has to help everybody out like usual. Not that Gabrielle's just a bystander, but you know, it gets really bad for Gabrielle at some point. But it's a beautiful, beautiful one. And then it's the Rheingold, the Ring, and... Return of the Valkyrie. 3 of my favorite episodes ever. I just love this story so very much to the core. It's beautiful. I don't know, like I can't get into detail because this one is probably the longest in this whole season. But Xena is this Valkyrie. I think they're called. And there's a god named Odin who falls in love with her, and he wants to commit suicide, but he can't commit suicide because he's a god. And Xena teaches him like that power and vengeance and whatever is worth living for, but he falls for her. And I cannot do it justice, but it's just so amazing. Then there's this ring that gives you powers if you wear it, but if you haven't forsaken love, then it destroys what you love the most. And it's just, it involves Beowulf. I don't know if you're familiar with Beowulf, but it's this story. I think it's a mythical story. I'm not really sure about this great warrior who slayed this beast. I watched the movie with who was it? Russell Crowe, I think, and Angelina Jolie. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, it's just really fun. It's awesome. I can't describe it too much because, like I said, it's very long, but it's awesome. It's great. And you see Xena flying on horses, and she has a new look. She has like helmet with wings. Beautiful, very beautiful, awesome. She has curly hair. The aesthetic, like I'm mentioning, is just so cool, and everything comes together smoothly. Disc 3, Old Ares Had a Farm. That's the first episode, and it shows another side of Ares, and I like this, and everybody else for that matter. They go to Xena's farm, and they're trying to keep him undercover because he lost his godly powers. So people put a bounty on his head, and they're trying to keep him safe. But he obviously, since he's the god of war, he's not doing very well as a farmer. But they have fun while they're at it. He really likes his dog, and they build a companionship. It's a nice episode. I like it. It derails from the typical, straightforward battle sequence that Xena's known for, but it's still good. Now the next one, Dangerous Prey. After killing the Amazon Queen, evil Prince Morlock sets his sights on Amazon Princess Varia and her guardian Xena. Dangerous Prey is another one of my favorite ones. I think I watched it on TV as well. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I know I'm using that word a lot, but it is because you have somebody who supposedly matches Xena's skills. He's a hunter. He likes hunting people because he's already hunt the most dangerous beast in the entire world, and even humans are dumb in comparison to him. But when he meets Xena, that changes because she's obviously up to his level. I would say much better, but yeah, there's a scene where he's like, "Oh, you're an Amazon," and she's like, "I'm not an Amazon." He says, "But you're so tall," and she responds with, "It's the boots," which I love because for most of my late teenage years, I wore boots, and it was something that I was known for. And I'm very short. I'm actually 5'6", so when people say, "Oh, you're tall," I'm like, "It's the boots," just like Xena. I copy a lot of Xena lines, honestly. That one's a good one. At the very end, then you find out who's the better combat specialist. I'll give you a hint. The god Caligula embarks on a reign of terror. Archangel Michael begs Xena to intervene, but her plan is jeopardized when he kidnaps Aphrodite. Another good one. I learned of Caligula via my sister, and I watched the movie that was very, very, very hard to watch. I might review it someday, but it was very, very hard to watch. And this episode was really fun. I think the actor did a great job, the guy who plays Caligula. Everybody here does a good job in the entire show. I mean, some not so much, but the majority. And it's fun. It's really fun. I don't know if I have a lot of time because the video might cut off after 30 minutes. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to have to speed it up a little bit. But basically what the show is about is Caligula, this vindictive, evil emperor, sadistic, sexually perverted emperor is... again, I'm just so trying to be so politically correct and diplomatic, but I mean no offense, so, but it's just known that he was very... how could we say? He was a difficult person that committed, or is said to have committed, a lot of crimes. Anyway, in the show, he's a god, an actual god, and since Xena has the power to kill gods, he's scared of her. But then Xena tries to kill one of the angels and would have killed him if it wasn't for the fact that they are, sacred. So Eli takes her power away to kill gods, and she has to find a way to kill Caligula, being a god and her being immortal. So the only way that she finds to be successful is to make him kill himself, and that he does. Good episode. You Are There, a reporter stumbles upon the story. Path of Vengeance, when Eve is kidnapped by Queen Varia and sentenced to die. Xena and Gabrielle rush to save her. You Are There is one of those episodes that put you in another time, in future time, and I don't like that. I don't like it when they do that with Xena. You know, when like a reporter, blah blah blah, this and that. I don't like it when they have guns and it's just like, you know, current times. I don't like that. So I wouldn't recommend that one, but I mean, unless you like that. Path of Vengeance. That one is good as well, but I just about had it with, you know, the whole Amazon thing. The Amazons were cool, and I enjoyed it, but then I think they overdid it. This is the finale. We could have 1 or 2 episodes with the Amazons, but that's it. I don't like them that much. I like them, like I said, but this is Xena. Like, I don't want it to be so much about Amazons. I would have preferred if they... And it also feels like they're going back and forth, you know? Oh, sorry for the dogs. It feels like they go from one place and then the other, and then they wake up in another. I think they might have filmed a whole bunch of episodes surrounding one place, and then the next, and then the next, and then they just set it up based on the storyline. But it doesn't make sense because they can't travel that far so fast. That's the only problem that I do have with this. Oh gosh, I hope I'm not going over. I'm gonna speed it up again. The next disc 4 has To Helicom and Back. More with the Amazons, and like they're trying to kill Eve because Eve is known as, pardon my French, the bitch of Rome. So she murdered a lot of Amazons. She sold them, actually. She did a lot of terrible things, and that's one of like, and then like I said, I don't like Eve because she's like, that I'm not that person anymore. That's not me. I'm Eve. It's like, girl, but you did kill a lot of people. You can't just erase that. Like, I could say, oh, you know what? I had a very bad GPA, high school, but no, I feel like I'm smarter now. Like, I worked a lot harder now, so I'm a 4.0 student because I say so. It's like, no, you don't be ridiculous. Like, you can't erase the past. You could change a little bit, but that's about it. So that's one of the problems that I have with that. With Eve, I mean. Send in the Clones, present day fans. Another one that takes place in present day. I don't like it. I don't like that. It takes away from the whole mood. Like, Old Airy Shadow Farm is good because it derails a little bit from the main intention of the show, but at the same time, well, not the intention, but like the feeling of the show, but at the same time it still maintains the characters and their lives and everything that goes on with them, so that's amazing. Last of the Centaurs, Lord Balak. I forgot how to pronounce his name but it's this guy that disappears. This son of, wow, what's his name? You know, in season 3, the guy that Xena's going out with, the fans of Xena know what I'm talking about. That guy, the warlord that dates Xena, and she takes him away from his family, his kid, and his wife, and they go east. I'm blanking out. Anyway, this is a good one because it involves the Centaurs, which Xena has a huge history with them. They took care of her son Xenon and everything, so it's a good one. I recommend it. When Fates Collide, Caesar escapes Hades and uses the Fates' powers to create a new future with Xena. This one I really like as well because I really like the character of Caesar, so it's amazing that he came back for the finale. And for just one, like I said, only for a little bit. And it also brings back, what's her name? It's not here, and I'm blanking out. TikTok. I don't want it to go over 30 minutes. I can't. It's that witch that has the power to like see people's futures and everything. And I think she was in season 5, if I'm not mistaken, or 4. Something with Audie. So Xeno fans know what I'm talking about. A good episode, When Fates Collide. Now the last one. Disc 5. It has Many Happy Returns, Soul Possession, A Friend in Need Part 1, and A Friend in Need Part 2. Many Happy Returns is a fun one. It involves Aphrodite. Ares and Aphrodite have their powers back, and there's this virgin who wants to sacrifice herself. Literally, she wants to be sacrificed, but she doesn't understand because she's so young. She grew up. It's like, I'm gonna get a little bit political. Well, not political, but you know how there's this huge stigma for gang members and stuff like that, stealing, cheating, whatever. But you don't realize that when you're born into that life and you don't know anything else, for you it's not terrible. You might have a feeling, you might have the knowledge that, yeah, this is wrong, this is not good in society's eyes, this is not good for the person that I'm affecting, whatever. But it's not to the extremes. It's not to the point that it is for other people, because that's what they grew up seeing and imitating. So it's more natural. I'm not supporting it. I'm not, defending crimes by any means, but we're all human and we should try to understand so that we could help each other, embrace each other, and find a solution to our discomfort. If somebody's stealing from you, if somebody did something to you or your family members, there's a reason. And this is too deep. I mean, there's pain. I know. I can't be like, can't just act like I know everything. I don't. But that's my opinion on the matter. There's always pain behind all of these things that are happening in the world. That's why I love Xena, because it just talks about all of that. Let's continue. Soul Possession. A present-day Xena is besieged by the press when it's revealed that the warrior princess was once Ares' wife. Yeah, another one. Why would they do that on the last disc? And I know that they weren't thinking about the disc when they were making the show, or maybe they were, but no, we have enough of the present-day Xena. We don't need two. Like, that's too much. No, I don't like that. Like I said, unless you do, but you could watch it for yourself. A Friend in Need Part 1 and A Friend in Need Part 2. That's a finale, and I'm closing this up. I don't think I showed you this. The finale deals with Xena. Well, first I should probably read it because it is a finale. It's a Part 2 finale. In Part 1 of the season finale, Xena and Gabrielle are called to Japan to stop a warrior ghost from destroying the village Higuchi. And A Friend in Need Part 2. In Part 2 of the season finale, Xena gives up her life to defeat the samurai ghost and save tens of thousands of souls from a horrible fate. So they receive news from this guy that she's needed there because this evil spirit is trapping other spirits and not letting them have their peace and have their rest. She goes over and she finds out that she gives Gabrielle a very long story about this girl that she met there, this Japanese girl, who was kind of like Gabrielle. She wrote and she was very poetic and everything, but she kind of lied to her and hurt her feelings. It sounds very tame talking about Xena like that, but it's reality. That's what happened. And the point is, she has to kill herself. And I really don't think I have that much time, but the finale is just everything that you want in a finale. Everything. There's a scene where she kills thousands of people, Xena, and she has arrows thrown at her, people swinging their swords at her face, and she's just blocking everything and killing everybody in her way, defending herself. Obviously, these are the bad guys. And there's the leader of the army cuts off her head, and then Gabrielle has to go and get it back because that's the only way to get her to come back to life. But first, Xena has to kill this evil spirit, and there's a lot of drama in between, and it's so emotional. Gabrielle goes there, and I think it solidifies Gabrielle's strength as an Amazon queen when she goes head to head with this warrior, and she beats him easily, to get Xena's head. It's so sad because obviously, they've been friends forever, and to be fighting for your friend's head, it's, I would assume, very difficult. Yeah, then Xena manages to kill the guy, but she finds out that in order to let those, because it was her fault, that it was Xena's fault that thousands of people there died this one night, because it was an accident. Everybody who already watched the show, you know what I'm talking about, sorry. It was an accident. So I just don't feel like, if it were up to me, I would have said the same thing as Gabrielle. Well, I'm sorry for those guys, but it was an accident, like, I don't care about them, honestly. Like, they were after her. They were trying to hurt her because she was just taking the ashes to the place that the girl told her to take them. She wasn't doing anything bad. And sure, you have your ideas, I understand that, but you can't come after a person with torches and stuff like that. You're the one that brought the fire, and you got offended when you got burned. Doesn't make any sense for me, but that's what happens. And she tells Gabrielle that in order for the souls to rest, she has to remain dead. She can't come back. It's a very emotional scene, very sad, super sad. And before, at the beginning of the finale, Xena tells them that they should, like, are we gonna be doing this our whole lives, just looking for trouble? Let's go to I forgot what she said. The pyramids. I think she said, let's go to Egypt. I hear they're in need of a girl with a chakram. So Gabrielle ends up doing that at the very end, with Xena by her side, and like spirit, she's like, I always be with you in your heart if you always remember me and keep me there. So it's very sweet. Like I said, it's one of my favorite shows ever. 10 out of 10. It's amazing. This season is one of my favorite ones. As you could see, I have a lot of the episodes that I really like. And I could do the Xena war cry, not as well as her, obviously, but I could kind of do something like, but I won't do it today. I'll keep it for another, probably season 5, which will definitely come next. I recommend that if you haven't watched any of Xena, that you watch it, because you shouldn't deprive yourself of the luxury of experiencing this. The themes in here in every season are amazing, and here it's no less than the others. 10 out of 10, like I said. Would rewatch, have rewatched, will always keep in my heart. I learned a lot from it, and you should too. Leave your comments, like, what do you think? Do you disagree or agree with me on my thoughts regarding this? Thank you for watching.